Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are diving into a question that has intrigued and inspired countless minds. Why do only 5% of people succeed, while 95% don't? Together we'll uncover what sets the top achievers apart and how you can join their ranks. The 5% have an unshakable belief in themselves, turning self-doubt into possibility. They reframe failure as a stepping stone, learning and growing with every setback. Growth is their lifestyle, dedicating time to books, podcasts, and self-education to expand their potential. They set clear, actionable goals, transforming vague dreams into measurable achievements. They treat time like the precious resource it is, focusing on high-impact actions rather than distractions. They understand the power of giving, whether through mentoring, volunteering, or uplifting others, creating ripples of positivity and opportunity. Surrounding themselves with supportive, inspiring individuals, they build a network that amplifies their efforts. Ultimately, the 5% embrace persistence, adaptability, and joy, seeing challenges as opportunities and finding humor in the journey. By cultivating these traits, they unlock not just success but fulfillment. Let's explore how you can adopt these habits and join the 5%. Belief in yourself is the foundation upon which success is built. It's not just a feel-good mantra. It's a critical factor that determines whether you even attempt to achieve your dreams, let alone succeed at them. The 5%, those who rise above the crowd, have an unshakable belief in their abilities and potential. They don't wait for external validation or the approval of others to pursue their goals. Instead, they cultivate an inner confidence that drives them forward even when the odds are stacked against them. This belief doesn't mean they never experience fear or doubt. It means they don't let those emotions paralyze them. They feel the fear, acknowledge it, and move forward anyway. Contrast this with the 95%, who often underestimate themselves and overestimate the challenges in front of them. They allow self-doubt to become their default mindset, constantly questioning their worth and their ability to succeed. Instead of asking, what if I succeed beyond my wildest dreams, they ask, what if I fail? That subtle shift in perspective has profound consequences. When you focus on failure, your mind starts to search for evidence to support that fear, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. The result is inaction, procrastination, and a life spent standing on the sidelines. The power of belief lies in its ability to shape your actions. When you believe in yourself, you're more likely to take risks, seize opportunities, and persevere through challenges. This belief acts as a mental blueprint that guides your behavior. For instance, if you truly believe you're capable of starting a successful business and took the necessary steps to make it happen, you'll invest time in learning, network with the right people, and push through obstacles. On the other hand, if you believe you're destined to fail, you'll unconsciously sabotage your efforts, whether by hesitating to take action or giving up at the first sign of difficulty. Belief also fuels resilience. Life is unpredictable and setbacks are inevitable. The difference between the 5% and the 95% isn't the absence of failure. It's how they respond to it. The 5% view challenges as temporary and solvable because their belief in themselves allows them to see setbacks as part of the process, not the end of the road. They understand that failure isn't a reflection of their worth or potential. It's simply feedback. This mindset enables them to bounce back quickly and continue striving toward their goals. For those who struggle with self-belief, the good news is that it's a skill that can be developed. It starts with changing the way you talk to yourself. The words you use have immense power over your mindset. If your inner dialogue is filled with negativity statements like I'm not good enough or I'll never succeed, it's time to rewrite that script. Replace those thoughts with positive affirmations such as I am capable, I am deserving of success, and I have what it takes to achieve my dreams. Writing these affirmations down and repeating them daily can help reprogram your subconscious mind and build a stronger sense of self-worth. Another powerful way to build belief in yourself is to take action no matter how small. Confidence isn't something you wait for, it's something you create through consistent effort. Each step you take, each small victory you achieve reinforces your belief that you're capable. Over time, those small wins add up, creating momentum that propels you forward. Surrounding yourself with supportive, positive people is equally important. The 5% understand that their environment plays a significant role in shaping their mindset. They seek out mentors, friends, and colleagues who uplift and encourage them rather than those who sow doubt or negativity. If your current circle doesn't support your dreams, it's worth seeking new connections that do. Ultimately, believing in yourself is about taking ownership of your potential. It's about refusing to let fear, doubt, or the opinions of others dictate your life. When you believe you can achieve great things, you open the door to possibilities that were once unimaginable. It's not magic, it's a shift in mindset that transforms how you see yourself and what you're willing to strive for. And that shift can change everything. Failure is often seen as the enemy of success, a roadblock that derails dreams and ambitions. However, for the 5% who achieve extraordinary success, failure is not the end, it's a critical part of the journey. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success, but a stepping stone to it. Each setback, mistake, or misstep is a valuable lesson, a chance to learn and grow. This mindset allows them to approach challenges with resilience and determination, turning what many see as a reason to quit into an opportunity to improve and move forward. The difference in how the 5% and the 95% perceive failure is striking. For the 95%, failure often feels like a verdict, a definitive statement that they're not good enough or that they're destined to fall short. This perspective creates a paralyzing fear of failure, leading to hesitation, procrastination, and ultimately inaction. When they do encounter failure, they tend to dwell on it, letting it erode their confidence and reinforce the belief that success is out of reach. This cycle of self-doubt and fear keeps them stuck, unable to take the risks necessary to achieve their goals. The 5%, on the other hand, have a completely different relationship with failure. They view it as feedback, not a final judgment. When something doesn't go as planned, they don't ask, "Why did this happen to me?" Instead, they ask, "What can I learn from this?" This simple shift in perspective transforms failure from something to be feared into a powerful tool for growth. They understand that each failure brings them one step closer to success because it provides valuable insights into what doesn't work. These insights allow them to refine their strategies, improve their skills, and ultimately achieve better results. Take Thomas Edison as an example. When working on the invention of the light bulb, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This mindset allowed him to persevere through countless setbacks and experiments until he finally achieved his goal. Edison didn't see failure as a reason to stop. He saw it as part of the process. This attitude is a hallmark of the 5%. They don't give up after a single setback or even multiple ones. They see failure as a temporary obstacle, not a permanent defeat. Developing this mindset starts with reframing how you think about failure. Instead of viewing it as a personal flaw or a sign of inadequacy, start seeing it as evidence that you're trying, learning, and pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. Failure means you're taking action, and taking action is the only way to achieve success. It's important to remind yourself that every successful person has experienced failure, often repeatedly. The difference is that they didn't let it stop them, they let it teach them. Another key to handling failure, like the 5%, is to analyze it objectively. When something goes wrong, take a step back and evaluate the situation. What specifically didn't work? Was it a flaw in the plan, a lack of preparation, or something outside your control? By identifying the root cause, you can address it and make adjustments moving forward. This process not only helps you learn from the experience, but also builds resilience by showing you that failure is manageable and fixable. Taking action despite the fear of failure is also critical. Many people get stuck in analysis paralysis, waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan before they begin. The 5% know that perfection is an illusion, and that waiting for it only delays progress. They take imperfect action knowing that mistakes are inevitable but also invaluable. By starting, failing, learning, and adjusting, they build momentum and move closer to their goals. Cultivating resilience is another important aspect of embracing failure. The 5% understand that setbacks are temporary and that perseverance is key. They don't let a single failure or even a series of failures define them. Instead, they maintain a long-term perspective, focusing on the bigger picture and using each failure as a stepping stone to greater success. This resilience is what allows them to keep going when others might give up. Ultimately, the ability to embrace failure comes down to mindset. If you view failure as the end, it will be, but if you see it as a beginning, a chance to learn and grow, it becomes a powerful tool for achieving your dreams. The 5% have mastered this perspective, and it's one of the key reasons they succeed where others don't. By shifting your mindset, learning from your mistakes, and taking consistent action, you too can turn failure into a stepping stone to success. Continuous learning is the lifeblood of success, and the 5% who rise above the crowd understand this deeply. They see learning not as a task to complete, but as a way of life, a learnstone of their growth and accomplishments. While the 95% may view education as something that ends with formal schooling, the 5% embrace lifelong learning as a mindset. They are curious, hungry for knowledge, and relentless in their pursuit of new skills, perspectives, and information. This commitment to growth sets them apart and gives them a significant edge in an ever-evolving world. The 5% treat learning as an investment with infinite returns. They understand that the knowledge they gain today can open doors tomorrow, whether it's in their personal life, career, or business. For them, every book, podcast, course, or conversation is an opportunity to expand their horizons. They approach learning with a sense of purpose, deliberately seeking out information and resources that align with their goals. This proactive approach ensures that they are always improving, staying ahead of the curve, and equipping themselves with the tools needed to navigate challenges and seize opportunities. In contrast, the 95% often fall into the trap of complacency. They may believe they've learned all they need to know or assume that acquiring new skills is too time-consuming or unnecessary. Instead of seeking out opportunities to grow, they default to distractions like binge-watching TV shows, scrolling through social media, or consuming entertainment that adds little value to their lives. While these activities may provide short-term comfort or escape, they don't contribute to long-term progress. This lack of intentional growth often leaves them stagnant, unable to adapt to changes or capitalize on new possibilities. One of the key habits of the 5% is their focus on self-education. They take responsibility for their own development, recognizing that formal education is just the beginning. They dive into books that challenge their thinking, attend workshops that teach new skills, and listen to podcasts that inspire and inform. For example, Oprah Winfrey, one of the most successful women in the world, has credited her love of reading and learning as a driving force behind her achievements. She didn't stop at dreaming of success. She worked tirelessly to expand her knowledge and skills to make those dreams a reality. This commitment to self-improvement is a common thread among the world's most accomplished individuals. The 5% also embrace the idea that growth happens outside of their comfort zone. They understand that to learn and improve, they must be willing to face challenges and step into unfamiliar territory. Whether it's learning a new language, mastering a new technology, or developing a new skill, they are willing to embrace the discomfort that comes with being a beginner. They don't let fear of failure or embarrassment hold them back because they know that every expert was once a novice. This willingness to take on new challenges accelerates their growth and helps them build confidence over time. Another crucial aspect of continuous learning is the ability to adapt to change. The 5% recognize that the world is constantly evolving and they must evolve with it. They stay curious about emerging trends, innovations, and shifts in their industries or fields of interest. This adaptability allows them to stay relevant and competitive, while the 95% may struggle to keep up or resist change altogether. By staying informed and open to new ideas, the 5% position themselves as leaders and innovators. The time management plays a significant role in their commitment to learning. The 5% prioritize growth by dedicating at least 30 minutes a day to acquiring new knowledge. Whether it's reading a book, taking an online course, or listening to an educational podcast during their commute, they make learning a non-negotiable part of their daily routine. This consistency compounds over time, leading to significant gains in knowledge and expertise. Meanwhile, the 95% may claim they don't have time to learn, yet spend hours on activities that don't contribute to their growth. The 5% also understand the importance of applying what they learn. They don't just consume information for the sake of it, they actively put their knowledge into practice. Whether it's implementing a new strategy at work, using a productivity technique in their personal life, or sharing their insights with others, they ensure that their learning translates into action. This practical application not only reinforces what they've learned, but also helps them see tangible results from their efforts. Ultimately, the 5% view learning as a lifelong journey, not a destination. They are driven by a deep curiosity and a desire to become the best versions of themselves. They know that the more they learn, the more they grow, and the more they grow, the closer they get to achieving their goals. This commitment to continuous learning is not just a habit, it's a mindset that fuels their success and sets them apart from the rest. By adopting this mindset, anyone can unlock their potential and join the ranks of the 5%. The 5% who succeed at an extraordinary level understand the profound impact of goal setting and consistent action. Their dreams are not abstract or vague ideas floating in the distant future. They are clear, well-defined targets with a roadmap to achieve them. They don't just talk about what they want, they break it down into actionable steps and work on those steps every single day. This ability to translate ambition into tangible actions is a cornerstone of their success and what ultimately separates and what of the 95% who struggle to make meaningful progress. Clarity is the first critical factor. The 5% know exactly what they want to achieve, and they articulate it with precision. They don't say, I want to be successful, or I want to make more money. Instead, specific, measurable goals like, by December 31st, 2025, I will earn $100,000 from my business. This level of specificity creates focus and eliminates ambiguity. Research has shown that people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them. The act of writing crystallizes intentions, transforming abstract ideas into a concrete plan. The 5% use this technique to keep their objectives at the forefront of their mind, serving as a constant reminder of what they're working toward. In contrast, the 95% often set goals that are vague, unrealistic, or non-existent. They might dream of being wealthy, happy, or successful, but without a clear plan or timeline, these aspirations remain just that, dreams. Without specificity, it's easy to lose motivation or direction. They may also fall into the trap of waiting for the perfect moment to start, which rarely comes. The 5%, however, understand that the perfect time to act is now. They know that clarity and action go hand in hand, and they refuse to let indecision or procrastination derail their progress. Consistency is the second essential element that sets the 5% apart. They understand that success is not built in a single day, but through small, repeated actions over time. It's the power of compounding effort. Small steps taken consistently lead to significant results. For example, an aspiring writer might commit to writing 500 words a day. At first, it might seem like a modest effort, but over the course of a year, that adds up to over 180,000 words, the equivalent of multiple books. The 5% embrace this principle, focusing on steady, incremental progress rather than chasing quick wins or overnight success. The 95%, on the other hand, often fall victim to inconsistency. They might start strong, fueled by a burst of motivation, but their efforts taper off as challenges arise or their initial excitement fades. They may also be drawn to distractions, spending more time planning their next Netflix binge than planning their plans in their... This lack of consistent effort creates a cycle of frustration and unfulfilled potential, leaving them wondering why their dreams never seem to materialize. The 5% approach their goals with a sense of urgency and discipline. They prioritize their time, focusing on high-impact activities that move the needle forward. They use techniques like time blocking, the Pomodoro technique, and prioritization frameworks such as the 80/20 rule to ensure they are making the most of their time. By identifying the tasks that yield the greatest results and committing to those, they maximize their productivity and maintain momentum. The 95%, by contrast, often allow distractions to dominate their time, whether it's social media, unnecessary tasks, or activities that provide instant gratification but little long-term value. The 5% also recognize the importance of tracking their progress. They regularly review their goals and measure their results, making adjustments as needed. This habit allows them to stay on course, celebrate small wins, and identify areas for improvement. Tracking progress reinforces their commitment and provides tangible evidence that their efforts are paying off. The 95%, however, may avoid tracking their progress out of fear of seeing how little they've accomplished or because they lack the tools and systems to do so effectively. Without regular check-ins, it's easy to lose sight of goals or drift off course. Another key aspect of the 5% success is their ability to overcome obstacles without losing momentum. They understand that challenges are inevitable and view them as opportunities to learn and grow. When faced with setbacks, they adapt, pivot, and keep moving forward. Their resilience ensures that no obstacle becomes a permanent roadblock. The 95%, by comparison, are often derailed by challenges, seeing them as reasons to give up rather than opportunities to improve. This difference in mindset is a critical factor in achieving long-term success. Ultimately, the 5% don't just dream, they do. They take consistent, focused action every day, even when they don't feel like it. They don't wait for motivation to strike. They create habits and systems that keep them moving forward. Whether it's dedicating time each morning to their most important tasks, setting aside daily time for skill development, or simply showing up no matter what, their actions align with their goals. This relentless commitment to consistent action is what enables them to achieve results that others only dream of. By adopting this approach, anyone can shift from the 95% to the 5% and turn their aspirations into reality. The company you keep plays a profound role in shaping who you are and the success you achieve. The 5% who consistently rise above the rest understand this principle deeply, making conscious efforts to surround themselves with people who uplift, challenge, and inspire them. They recognize that their environment, especially the people they interact with, can either propel them forward or hold them back. While the 95% often underestimate the influence of their social circles, the 5% treat relationships as a critical component of their journey toward success. The 5% actively curate their network, gravitating toward individuals who align with their goals, values, and aspirations. They seek out mentors, peers, and collaborators who share their vision for growth and success. These relationships provide a source of encouragement, guidance, and accountability. For the 5%, the power of association is not just a cliche, it's a deliberate strategy. They understand that being surrounded by driven, positive, and ambitious people inspires them to aim higher, work harder, and think bigger. On the other hand, the 95% often fall into the trap of maintaining relationships out of habit or convenience, even when those connections may be detrimental to their progress. They may spend time with people who discourage their dreams, foster negativity, or promote complacency. These energy vampires, as they're sometimes called, can drain motivation and stifle ambition. The 95% may not realize the subtle yet significant impact these relationships have on their mindset, confidence, and willingness to take action. The result is often a cycle of stagnation and frustration as they struggle to break free from an environment that doesn't support their growth. One of the most critical distinctions of the 5% is their willingness to evaluate their social circles honestly. They ask themselves tough questions. Are the people in my life lifting me up or holding me back? Do my friends, colleagues, and associates inspire me to be better, or do they reinforce habits and beliefs that limit my potential? If they find that certain relationships no longer serve their growth, the 5% are not afraid to set boundaries or distance themselves. This doesn't mean they cut people out of their lives carelessly, but they prioritize relationships that align with their goals and values. The 5% are also highly intentional about building new connections. They don't just network for the sake of collecting business cards or social media followers. They strive to form meaningful, mutually beneficial relationships. They understand that genuine connections are built on trust, respect, and shared goals. Whether it's seeking out industry leaders, attending conferences, joining masterminds, or participating in community events, the 5% proactively place themselves in environments where they can meet like-minded individuals. These efforts not only expand their network, but also expose them to new ideas, perspectives, and opportunities. Mentorship is another cornerstone of the 5%'s approach to relationships. They understand the immense value of learning from those who have already walked the path they aspire to follow. A mentor can provide invaluable insights, share lessons learned from experience, and offer guidance that helps avoid common pitfalls. The 5% actively seek out mentors, demonstrating humility and a willingness to learn. They recognize that they don't have to figure everything out on their own. A good mentor can shorten the learning curve and accelerate progress. Equally important, the 5% make an effort to give back by mentoring others. They believe in the principle of reciprocity and understand that teaching and helping others not only strengthens their own knowledge, but also creates a ripple effect of positivity and growth. By sharing their experiences and supporting others in their journey, they reinforce their own sense of purpose and build a legacy of impact. The 5% also excel at fostering a culture of accountability within their relationships. They align themselves with individuals who hold them to high standards and challenge them to stay true to their commitments. Whether it's a business partner, a workout buddy, or a supportive friend, these accountability partners provide encouragement and constructive feedback, ensuring that the 5% remain on track. This culture of mutual support and accountability is a powerful motivator, helping them push through challenges and maintain consistency. Another key to the 5% success is their ability to balance relationships with boundaries. While they value connection and community, they also recognize the importance of protecting their time, energy, and focus. They are not afraid to say no to relationships or activities that drain their resources or distract them from their goals. This selective approach ensures that their relationships are enriching and supportive rather than burdensome or toxic. Positivity is a hallmark of the relationships the 5% cultivate. They seek out people who maintain an optimistic outlook even in the face of challenges. These individuals inspire resilience, creativity, and a solution-oriented mindset. By surrounding themselves with positive influences, the 5% reinforce their own ability to stay motivated and adapt to adversity. They understand that negativity can be contagious, but so can enthusiasm, encouragement, and hope. Ultimately, the 5% approach relationships with intention, strategy, and a deep understanding of their power. They recognize that the people they surround themselves with shape their mindset, habits, and opportunities. By cultivating a network of supportive, inspiring, and like-minded individuals, they create an environment that fuels their growth and propels them toward success. For those who aspire to join the ranks of the 5%, evaluating and improving their relationships is an essential step on the journey. The 5% who achieve extraordinary success understand the transformative power of mentorship and guidance. They don't walk their journey alone or attempt to reinvent the wheel. Instead, they actively seek out individuals who have already achieved the results they aspire to, leveraging their wisdom, experience, and insights to accelerate their progress. This deliberate choice to learn from others sets them apart from the 95%, who often rely solely on trial and error or hesitate to ask for help. The 5% know that a mentor's perspective is invaluable. A mentor has already navigated challenges, made the mistakes, and learned the lessons that the mentee might not even be aware of yet. By tapping into this reservoir of knowledge, the 5% save time, avoid common pitfalls, and gain clarity on their next steps. This is not about taking shortcuts in the sense of cutting corners. It's about learning from the experience of others to move forward more effectively. Whether it's in business, personal development, or any other area, the guidance of someone who has been there, done that, can provide a roadmap to success. In contrast, The 95% often fall into the trap of thinking they must figure everything out on their own. This mindset can stem from pride, fear of appearing weak, or simply a lack of awareness about the value of mentorship. They may spend years making avoidable mistakes, delaying their progress, and diminishing their confidence. Some may avoid seeking guidance because they believe their struggles are unique, failing to realize that the challenges they face have likely been overcome by others before them. This unwillingness to seek help keeps them stuck in cycles of trial and error, wasting time and energy that could be better spent moving forward. The 5% also understand that mentorship is not a one-size-fits-all relationship. They are intentional about finding mentors who align with their goals, values, and learning styles. And a mentor doesn't have to be a formal figure in a structured program. It can be a colleague, an industry expert, or even someone they admire from afar through books, podcasts, or courses. The key is identifying individuals who can provide actionable advice and insight relevant to their unique journey. The 5% are not passive in this process. They actively seek out opportunities to connect with potential mentors, whether through networking events, professional organizations, or direct outreach. Once they establish a mentorship relationship, the 5% approach it with respect and humility. They don't simply expect answers to be handed to them. They show up prepared, ready to learn, and willing to put in the work. They ask thoughtful questions, listen carefully, and implement the advice they receive. This active engagement demonstrates their commitment and ensures that both the mentor and mentee benefit from the relationship. The 5% also express gratitude for their mentor's time and guidance, understanding that mentorship is a two-way street. Another hallmark of the 5% is their openness to being mentored in multiple areas of their lives. They don't limit mentorship to their careers. They seek guidance in areas like health, relationships, and personal growth. They understand that success is holistic and learning from experts in various domains enriches their overall life experience. They may have a business coach, a fitness trainer, or a spiritual guide, each contributing to their development in different ways. This well-rounded approach helps them achieve balance and sustain growth. The 5% also recognize the value of being mentors themselves. They know that teaching others solidifies their own understanding and helps them grow further. By sharing their knowledge, they contribute to a cycle of success, creating a ripple effect that benefits not only their mentees, but also themselves. Mentorship is not just about receiving, it's about giving back, building a legacy, and fostering a culture of growth and collaboration. In this way, the 5% create a positive feedback loop of learning, teaching, and evolving. While the 95% may view mentorship as unnecessary or inaccessible, the 5% understand it as a vital component of success. They don't let ego or fear prevent them from reaching out for help. Instead, they approach mentorship as an investment in their future, one that pays dividends in the form of accelerated growth, improved decision-making, and increased confidence. They view every conversation, piece of advice, or constructive critique as a stepping stone toward their goals. The 5% also prioritize accountability within their mentorship relationships. A good mentor doesn't just offer encouragement, they challenge their mentees to push beyond their comfort zones and hold them accountable for their progress. The 5% welcome this accountability, recognizing it as a catalyst for growth. They embrace feedback even when it's difficult to hear and use it as fuel to improve. This willingness to be challenged and corrected is a defining characteristic that propels them forward. Finally, the 5% understand that mentorship is an ongoing process. They don't stop seeking guidance once they achieve a certain level of success. Instead, they continue to learn, grow, and evolve by surrounding themselves with mentors who can help them reach new heights. They remain curious and open to new perspectives, ensuring that they never stagnate. This commitment to lifelong learning and mentorship is what keeps them in the top tier of achievers. By seeking out mentors, learning from their wisdom, and embracing the process of growth, the 5% gain a powerful advantage on their journey to success. They understand that they don't have to walk the path alone and that the insights of others can illuminate their way forward. This willingness to learn from those who came before them is a cornerstone of their success and a lesson that anyone aspiring to join their ranks can adopt. The 5% who achieve extraordinary success understand the transformative power of giving. They recognize that success is not solely about accumulating wealth, recognition, or accomplishments. It is also about creating value for others and making a positive impact. These individuals embrace generosity as a core principle, not only because it benefits those around them, but because it enriches their own lives in profound and often unexpected ways. Giving for them is not a transactional act, but a fundamental part of who they are and how they operate. The act of giving creates a ripple effect that touches everyone it reaches. When the 5% share their knowledge, resources, or time, they inspire others to do the same. Whether it's mentoring someone who is just starting out, donating to causes they care about, or volunteering their skills, their contributions have a multiplier effect. This cycle of giving builds stronger communities, fosters collaboration, and enhances the collective well-being of those involved in. By focusing on how they can add value to others, the 5% indirectly increase their own opportunities for growth and success, and corrected is a defining characteristic that propels them forward. Finally, the 5% understand that mentorship is an ongoing process. They don't stop seeking guidance once they achieve a certain level of success. Instead, they continue to learn, grow, and evolve by surrounding themselves with mentors who can help them reach new heights. They remain curious and open to new perspectives, ensuring that they never stagnate. This commitment to lifelong learning and mentorship is what keeps them in the top tier of achievers. By seeking out mentors, learning from their wisdom, and embracing the process of growth, the 5% gain a powerful advantage on their journey to success. They understand that they don't have to walk the path alone and that the insights of others can illuminate their way forward. This willingness to learn from those who came before them is a cornerstone of their success and a lesson that anyone aspiring to join their ranks can adopt. The 5% who achieve extraordinary success understand the transformative power of giving. They recognize that success is not solely about accumulating wealth, recognition, or accomplishments. It is also about creating value for others and making a positive impact. These individuals embrace generosity as a core principle, not only because it benefits those around them, but because it enriches their own lives in profound and often unexpected ways. Giving for them is not a transactional act, but a fundamental part of who they are and how they operate. The act of giving creates a ripple effect that touches everyone it reaches. When the 5% share their knowledge, resources, or time, they inspire others to do the same. Whether it's mentoring someone who is just starting out, donating to causes they care about, or volunteering their skills, their contributions have a multiplier effect. This cycle of giving builds stronger communities, fosters collaboration, and enhances the collective well-being of those involved. By focusing on how they can add value to others, the 5% indirectly increase their own opportunities for growth and success. For the 5%, giving is closely tied to their sense of purpose. They understand that true fulfillment comes from contributing to something larger than themselves. Success is not just about personal gain, it's about leaving a legacy that reflects their values and vision. This mindset drives them to seek out ways to give back, whether through acts of service, charitable contributions, or simply sharing their journey to inspire others. They know that every small act of kindness or generosity has the potential to change someone's life and create a lasting impact. On the other hand, the 95% often underestimate the power of giving or see it as a secondary priority. They may believe that giving is something they can only do after achieving success, not realizing that generosity is a pathway to success itself. This mindset creates a cycle of scarcity where people focus on what they lack rather than on what they can offer. The 5% break free from this scarcity mindset by recognizing that giving is not about how much they have, but about their willingness to share what they can. They know that generosity is not a matter of resources, but of intention. One of the most impactful ways the 5% give is through mentorship. They understand the value of guiding others, sharing their experiences, and helping others navigate challenges they have already overcome. Mentoring is not just about imparting knowledge, it's about empowering others to realize their potential. By investing in the growth of others, the 5% not only strengthen their communities, but also reinforce their own learning and leadership skills. They see mentorship as a way to pay forward the guidance they receive from their own mentors, creating a virtuous cycle of support and growth. The 5% also give by contributing their expertise to solve problems or create opportunities for others. They recognize that their skills and talents can be powerful tools for making a difference. Whether it's offering pro bono services, teaching a workshop, or using their platform to advocate for important causes, they find ways to leverage their strengths to benefit others. This approach not only amplifies their impact, but also deepens their sense of purpose and fulfillment. Another way the 5% embrace giving is by fostering a culture of collaboration and support. They understand that success is not a zero-sum game, and that lifting others up does not diminish their own achievements. Instead, they celebrate the success of others, offer encouragement, and create opportunities for collaboration. This abundance mindset builds trust, strengthens relationships, and often leads to unexpected opportunities and partnerships. By giving generously in their interactions, they cultivate a network of allies who are eager to reciprocate. For the 5%, giving also extends to creating a positive and uplifting environment for those around them. They lead by example, showing kindness, empathy, and appreciation in their daily interactions. Whether it's offering a word of encouragement, recognizing someone's effort, or simply being a source of positivity, these acts of generosity foster a sense of connection and goodwill. The 5% understand that even the smallest gestures can have a significant impact on someone's day and contribute to a culture of support and success. The practice of giving also reinforces the 5%'s own personal growth. Generosity requires self-awareness, empathy, and a willingness to step outside of one's comfort zone. By giving, they develop qualities like compassion, humility, and resilience. They learn to see the world from different perspectives, which broadens their understanding and enriches their lives. Additionally, giving often leads to a sense of gratitude, as it reminds them of the abundance they already have and the privilege of being able to help others. The 5% also recognize that giving is not limited to grand gestures or large donations. It's the consistent practice of contributing in meaningful ways, no matter how small. They give their time by volunteering, their attention by listening deeply, and their energy by supporting causes they believe in. These cumulative acts of generosity create a powerful ripple effect that benefits everyone involved. They know that success is not just measured by what they achieve, but by the positive impact they leave behind. Ultimately, the 5% view giving as an integral part of their success journey, not as an afterthought or a bonus. They understand that by focusing on how they can serve others, they simultaneously enrich their own lives. Giving fuels their growth, strengthens their relationships, and deepens their sense of purpose. It transforms their success from a solitary pursuit into a shared experience that uplifts everyone around them. For those striving to join the 5%, embracing the power of giving is one of the most transformative steps they can take. Success is not a destination. It's a journey shaped by the choices we make, the habits we build, and the mindset we cultivate. Whether you're striving to achieve a personal dream, make an impact in your community, or simply live a life filled with purpose and joy, the path forward is in your hands. You've seen what sets the 5% apart: the belief in themselves, the resilience to rise after every fall, the thirst for growth, the clarity of goals, the value of time, the power of giving, and the ability to cultivate meaningful relationships. Now the question remains, what will you do with this knowledge? The truth is, the gap between where you are and where you want to be is smaller than you think. It's not about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about taking action, one small, intentional step every day. So as you leave here, remember this: you are capable, deserving, and worthy of the success you dream of. Believe in yourself, embrace the process, and stay the course even when the road gets tough. Success isn't reserved for the lucky few. It's waiting for those who dare to pursue it. Go out there, take the first step, and keep going. The world needs your unique brilliance, and the view from the top is worth every moment of the climb. You've got this.